providing that service or delivering that to the production. So I launched Real Art Detroit. Now represents 35 to 40 different artists, and we provide paintings, photography, sculpture to any production that's available. So far, I've paid commissions to 12 artists and counting. I was looking at hiring possibly an assistant this summer with the pending production schedule. Unfortunately, that's all on hold at this point.
So Kim, you did some great work. One of the shows we all love so much in Detroit is in Michigan is Detroit 187. Tell us what you did. What did you do?
Absolutely. Detroit 187 was great. We had a blast working with the art department there, and I want to say approximately about half the art that you see on that show came from Real Art Detroit. It's all some of the top painters, sculptors, photographers in Detroit that were represented there. Really exciting show, loved it, great crew, they loved us. They were looking at continuing our business together. They were really excited to have all their vendors in place. That included Real Art, which was pretty exciting. And yeah, loved working with that show, and I'll be really sorry to see it go if it goes.
And a lot of people don't think of art when they talk about revenues coming in. It's certainly
Correct.
not measured in probably the statistics.
Absolutely.
Talk a little bit about how you feel about not your contribution, your income, your paycheck, and that of who you pay not being part of the calculation.
I do believe that the artists that get commissions from this service is totally not on the grid. I'm pretty sure they're aware of me. I'm sending them checks quarterly to the state because I take in state tax and then send my, send that in, also my own personal income. But I don't think what's on the grid is all the artists that are getting paid commissions as a result of renting art to sets. And you'll probably notice now, which frankly I didn't pay attention either until I got into the business, but every single production, almost every set, needs art. There's something on the wall. I think if you saw a scene and there wasn't something on the wall, you'd know something was off. It felt weird. Sometimes you don't even notice the art, but I think you would notice if there wasn't any art. But it's a huge industry. There are companies in other established cities that provide this service, which is sort of when the light went on. And but there was no one here doing it, and it really has a potential to just explode and provide art to all these sets and all the productions. There's more than one set on every production, and it could really be enormous, the impact that this would have. The other issue I like too is that it supports the art community here as we're watching funding losses in terms of the arts, and it's very difficult to earn a living here in Detroit as an artist. This is another avenue to support local art here in Detroit. And hopefully also in addition to that is some national exposure for the artwork that does appear either in films or on television like on Detroit 187. So I think it's a huge opportunity for local artists here to get involved and pay a bill.
So they actually ship art from LA. Until you really got involved, they would go to that expense because that didn't exist.
They do, because there was really nobody here. I mean, they would randomly, if they happened upon a gallery, hey, there's some art, they'd run in and rent some stuff, but there wasn't any one person providing the service. They still are shipping art in from LA, which of course I don't like that because there's plenty of talent here and there's no reason why Real Art Detroit can't service all these productions. There's more than enough art for everybody. The other interesting thing is, and we came upon this, in fact it was Suzette Sheets, who's the set decorator on Detroit 187, who made the suggestion to me that if they send art in, why can't I send art out? And this is a really interesting proposition in terms of, again, supporting the local artists that, we can send stuff out as well. There's no reason why productions in LA, Louisiana, et cetera, can't rent from us here too, which is another avenue that we haven't even explored.
But we want to keep the jobs here. So if this
they would continue to keep the artists here, still be supporting local artists here.
Right. But what I'm saying is, with time, the infrastructure, the people like you that have found this business, then those relationships would be available so that they wouldn't need to ship art. Why would they want to ship art?
You wouldn't need to. There would be more than enough opportunity here to keep everybody busy, and I think it'd be great. In addition to, at some point, I would need a space. I'm going to have to hire people. I mean, it would just explode. I mean, I will have to purchase art here. My plan this summer was to go to a lot of these DIY shows and actually buy art from local artists and start to develop an inventory. I'm not prepared to invest at this point till we know what's going on. But yeah, the impact on the art community here for just this one tiny little business could really be powerful.
So where are you now, Kim, with your plans?
Everything's on hold. I've been approached, obviously, by several artists since this whole thing went down, and I'm sorry to tell them that, you know, we're just kind of sitting tight. There are productions here for this year, although it's less than we thought. I really don't know. I mean, the whole thing is very precarious, and I'm not investing any further until we see what happens. I was looking into an assistant for this year. I don't know if I'll even need one, you know, depending on what happens. And I'm highly disappointed. This year was looking to just explode. The amount of productions that were coming, I'm not even a year into this business, and it would have easily doubled this year, if not tripled, the amount of orders that would have come in this year. So I'm very disappointed and sitting tight, and we'll see what happens. I am an art provider. I've provided at least half the art on Detroit 187. After the crash, I reinvented myself and adapted to the new circumstances and have become successful at it and providing art to not only 187 but many other productions, and look forward to continue growing and expanding in that direction.
And we are back. We are live. Okay. Great. So I think you can see from the, why don't you move your chair in here a little bit, from the Kay's story, that there are just enormous opportunities to recreate yourself in the film industry. I'm Nancy Skinner. This is FilmCreditsWork.com, our 12-hour telethon, our webathon, to raise money. I mean, basically, we're raising money to buy airtime, to tell the stories of real people in Michigan who have benefited from the film industry and who will lose, who will be devastated if the film industry goes back away, because we were short-sighted not to see this as an investment. And my group, Next Wave Media Studios, has been collecting these video stories for some time right now. We're going to have this continue our webcast so that we raise the money. But here's how you can participate in the program and donate $10 so these ads get up on the air. $10 of your time. What's $10 is a fast food meal these days. So the phone number to call in is 248-597-0973. It's 248-597-0973. And if you disagree with me, call me. I'm on Fox News all the time. I love debating. We'll have this debate. I'm up for a vigorous debate. You can also Skype into the program. If you Skype, just add the contact Rick's Wrong, and we use that because it's just wrong about the film credit. This is a very bipartisan effort. But you could also then call in at 248-597-0957. But when you Skype in, remember, turn your audio down on your computer because there's a delay over the computer. And we want to be able to get your video into our webcast and your voice